Yo, namaste, y'all. It's the White Magical Tiger. So I'm chilling in a cafe, and I found one of my favorite books in the library, Journey to Self-Realization by Paramhansa Yogananda, my spiritual teacher. I opened to this page. You got some highlighted notes, so I'm going to read them out to y'all. All right, so here's a story from Master Yogananda to explain what he means. And I was going to, after meditating on it a little bit, what I was thinking was if I need to make a decision between like two or three things, I've realized that it's better just to sit in stillness and uh, to just kind of meditate on it, visualize it, feel into it. And then, so here's Master Yogananda's story. I would tell you of such an experience. A friend of mine said I was all right as a spiritual man, but that I could not succeed in business. So he's saying Yogananda is a good spiritual dude, but he couldn't have success in business. Yogananda replied, I'm going to make $5,000 in business for you within 2 weeks. He said, you'll have to show me. I am from Missouri. I did not rush to invest money on unwise things. I used concentration, disengaged my mind from all disturbances, and focused my attention one-pointedly within. Most of you have the searchlight of your attention turned outside all the time instead of inside. You should turn the searchlight of the mind within to reveal the divine source. We are living on the outer side of the universe. The inner side is more tangible and real, for there the subtle laws operating behind the outer phenomena can be perceived. Thank you. Every change in business, every change in the planetary system, in our physical bodies, everything is recorded there. Ordinarily, men do not concentrate. The mind is restless, and the restless mind jumps at conclusions and races for something that does not rightfully belong to one. You must obey divine law, remember, concentrate, and then ask divine power to help you. Kind of what I was saying, like, just go within and get the guidance from God. So I touched that source, and as soon as I had made that contact, there were shown to me lots of houses, but I did not sit quietly in my room and say, the Heavenly Father will open the ceiling and drop $5,000 in my lap. Because I had favored him with a fervent prayer, I bought the Sunday papers and looked at real estate advertisements. I picked out a few houses and told my friend to invest his money in them. He said, everything seems pretty shaky. And I said, never mind, doubting Thomas, referring to the Apostle Thomas, doubting that Jesus Christ had risen from the dead. And was back in the flesh, and so Thomas had to touch him because he couldn't believe just by sight. He had to touch Jesus to see he's real. So he said everything seems pretty shaky, and Yogananda said, "Never mind, doubting Thomas. Don't spoil success by your doubts." In 2 weeks, there was a real estate boom, and prices of houses went way up high. He sold the houses and had a clear profit of $5,000. I showed him that the power of God works through the mind wherever we apply it with faith. Concentration, when directed by divine power, does not allow you to ramble through wrong investments. You go straight to success. If that mind power can be applied in business, it can be applied in other things, in music, in writing, for example. I always start from within to bring knowledge out, and not from without to pump knowledge in. All the musical instruments I play, I learned that way. Perhaps I was too proud to think about going to a teacher. I thought, well, the first man who started to make music did not learn from anybody. Why can't I do the same? It is all right to say that, but if you stand and wait while you reinvent the trolley car, you will be a long time getting to your destination. All questions I have had have been answered as fast as God can respond. I receive direct replies from him or her. Start from within, not from without. That is how anyone can get the experience of many years within a short time. You have not to read all the books in the library. You have not to learn everything from schools or teachers. Poetry, music, all knowledge come without limitation from the inner source, from the soul. What some people call the Akashic Records. And he would have said YouTube too. You can't get everything from YouTube, social media. In one short span of human life, how else are you going to find out answers to all the mysteries of the body and the mysteries of the infinitude of divine wisdom if you do not tap your inner source, which is omniscient, all-knowing? Now, I've definitely learned a lot from YouTube, but there's like that arc where it's just like the law of diminishing returns, where it's like I've already absorbed so much, and like the more hours I put into watching, the less the less reward I get. In the beginning, I got a lot of reward, and it's just kind of been going down. The more hours I put in, the less reward I get out of it, and so I realized that it's more appropriate now to transition more to what Yogananda is talking about, and going to that Akashic record, that inner source where the soul is, where all answers, the omniscience is. And so just a beautiful divine timing. One of my favorite books, and may God bless all y'all. Namaste. Namaste, y'all. White Magical Tiger. So one thing that's relatable to me about what Master Yogananda was saying in that video is that when I was making the decision to come to India, part of me was like, all right, do I just go back to Hawaii? I was just kind of just like, I didn't know where I wanted to go. UK, Scandinavia, South America, Hawaii, maybe even Nepal. I had Nepal in my mind because when I was in San Marcos, Lake Atilan, Guatemala, I met several people that went to this lake town called Pokhara, and it's super cool. Apparently, it's similar to Lake Atilan in Guatemala. And so that was in my mind as well. And so I'm meditating, and I'm just sitting in stillness. I'm doing the mantra yoga. I'm doing the Kriya yoga. I'm just sitting in stillness. And then I do this visualization exercise where I imagine like an infinite hallway with doors on the left and doors on the right. And the doors on the left are personalities for the left hemisphere of the brain. And then there's doors on the right, which are not personalities, this impersonal, that's the right hemisphere. And so the doors on the left, I usually go to the inner child room, the Jesus Christ room, the Divine Mother room, the Paramhansa Yogananda room, whoever it is, a saint, Heavenly Father room, whatever. And then the doors on the right, some will be like the expansion room, or the baptism room, or the answer room, the solution room, the gift room. And so I like to go back and forth. So from one door on the left to one door on the right. And so I went through one door on the left, and then this time I did the Paramhansa Yogananda room. And so I'm just chilling there, and I just kind of let whatever my imagination comes to me, and I'll usually just like probably just like see him meditating there, and I'll visualize myself just like sitting right next to him and meditating together. And this time I was just kind of just like praying to him, and talking to him, asking for advice, and be like, hey man, where should I go? And so I leave that room and I go to the other side, the right side of the right side, and this time it says the travel room. So I imagine a door with the word travel, and I open the door, and for a brief second I just saw like an outline of the country of India, and just like India came very strongly to me. And of course that's where Master Yogananda's from. And then so the next day or the day after that, I booked a ticket here, because I was just like, okay, that came through very clearly. It was not Sweden, it was not England, it was not Nepal, it was not South America, it was not Hawaii, it was India. And I had that confidence too, no hesitation, like, okay, that's the route I should go in. And I would say you could probably now do this on your own. This like not financial advice, blah 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 blah. But you might be able to use this with cryptocurrency, with the stock market, with real estate investment, with starting a business, or getting a job. If you have a job lined up or something and you're trying to figure out, is this the right job for me? Just whenever you have a decision, such option A, option B, maybe there's option A, B, C, D, E, and you can try to use your creativity. One thing I like to do as well is kind of visualize it. So like if I have multiple scenarios, like I would visualize, imagine like, what is option A like, and then what is option B like, what is option C like. Now that's from Aina in Hawaii. She's a very intelligent, brilliant, like 9-year-old, 10-year-old. I think she's 10, turning 11. She told me that I was having trouble at the time deciding whether to stay in Kauai, Hawaii, or go to Alaska. And she was like, just visualize both scenarios, visualize Hawaii and visualize Alaska, and which one feels better. And I did it, and I just kind of visualized whatever Alaska would be like. And yeah, it was like Alaska felt better. And so because of that, a brilliant child gave me a beautiful meditation technique, and I've been using that a lot. Like if I'm struggling between two decisions, and I'm not going to use the hallway scenario, I'll use just that simple visualize each scenario and feel into it, which one feels better. Get kind of out of the mind, drop down into the heart, because where's the kingdom of heaven? It's here, and it's here. All right, y'all. May God bless all y'all. Namaste.
God, Krishna, Christ, Guru. God, Krishna, Christ, Guru. God, Krishna, Christ, Guru. God, Krishna, Christ, Guru. I surrender to thee. I surrender to thee. I surrender to thee. I surrender to thee. God, Krishna, Christ, Gurus. God, Krishna, Christ, Gurus. God, Krishna, Christ, Gurus. God, Krishna, Christ, Gurus.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,